It's been a few days since the Xbox showcase, and a lot of people have reached out to me and asked me what my opinions of the show was. Now, I have done a bunch of shows over the course of the last couple of days and definitely have shared my opinions on those shows, but so I guess it's time for me to get my opinions out there in a very well-crafted video so you guys can know exactly how I feel about Xbox's performance on July 23rd, 2020. Let's go. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Forte, and thank you for checking out this video. Please hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you head over to Twitter, follow me over there. It's the best place to interact with me as a gamer, so we can talk about the things we don't talk about in this video. So, where do I start? Man, there has been a lot of disappointment in this community. People are literally upset about everything pretty much at this conference for the most part. But before we get into the bad stuff, we're going to really harp on a lot of the good stuff first. We're not going to really dive deep into the pre-show, but I will say that Dragon Quest XI finally seeing its debut on the Xbox platform is truly amazing. Phil Spencer's been putting that work in overseas, and you can definitely tell by us getting a lot of good games that hasn't seen the light of day on Xbox ever before, and that's a great thing to see. But one of the things I definitely want to congratulate them on is finally pulling the band-aid off of Fable and showing it. Even knowing it was a 1:20 trailer, I don't even know if it was that long. It might have been shorter, but the fact that they showed it is the only thing I really wanted them to do. I know even myself would like to have seen a little bit more when it comes to like some NPCs probably crossing the field or something. We just pretty much got a splash screen, but I can't be mad at them because over the course of the last 6 months to a year, people have been saying, dude, just show that it exists. Show us a trailer with a splash logo of the logo up on the screen, and that will be fine for us. And that's kind of what they did. Shout out to Slow-Mo. He's basically saying that they basically took everything that we said very literally, and that might be the case, but they did show it, so I'm good with it. It was pretty funny because another fairy lost its wings, but I digress. So moving on to the next thing that we saw that was super excited was the median. I wasn't expecting to see this again here. We did see this at the May reveal event, and it was pretty interesting then, but we actually got to see some very good gameplay where we get to see that this game was rendering two different worlds at the same time. Now I'm hearing a lot of slack about this game because everybody keeps saying that Microsoft keeps saying that this is the most powerful system and we're about the frame rates and we're about fidelity and all this other crazy stuff, but the game's running at 30 frames per second. If I remember correctly, I don't think this is owned by Microsoft. Yes, they are doing an exclusive game for Microsoft, but this is a third-party studio that's making a game for them, meaning they don't fall in line with the rest of what Microsoft says with their first party, making sure that frame rate is one of the things that they definitely want their studios to focus on the most. I do hear stories about people saying that they kind of rolled back on that. I need to look into it a little bit more because I haven't been really paying attention to it, and if that's the case, that sucks. But if it isn't the case, this is a third-party game. If they want to run at 30 frames per second, that's fine on consoles, because guess what? I'll play it on PC Game Pass and still get 60 frames per second with ultra settings. I just don't think any game should be at 30 frames per second at this point because these systems are very well capable of giving us the fidelity that we would like to see in next generation games, and that is something that I will never stop talking about. So yes, the Median's game looks amazing. Did I just say the Median's game? Dude, it's called the Median. It's not the Median's game. I'm not cutting that out because I'm tired of editing, but yes, the Median looks amazing, and it's gonna be one of those cool cinematic games, it looks like, that you're going to have two different versions of the game running at the same time where you're in one side and in another side, and can't wait to see what they actually do as they flush this out more. Doesn't look like it's coming out anytime soon, so we're going to have to wait like most of the things that were shown in this showcase. And one of the other things that they showed at this showcase that was really cool was Avowed, you know, Obsidian's new RPG game that they're bringing out at some point during 2023, 2024. Who knows when it's coming, but they showed it, and that was cool. I really liked it, and it has a Skyrim type feel to it. And if this developer could do anything close to what they did with Fallout New Vegas, then this is a win-win. I mean, it's a win just for the fact that they showed it, and it's an RPG, and it's Obsidian. I really am not worried worried about this developer. I just want to see these games sooner rather than later, but I'm willing to give Obsidian all the time they need to make it because they have a proven track record, especially with RPGs. Now, last but not least, for the excitement side of it, you guys know what I'm gonna say. Y'all know I love Bungie. Y'all know I love Destiny. The fact that they came out and announced that not only are you gonna be able to play Destiny for free, but you're gonna be able to play it in Game Pass with all the expansions starting in September. And when the new expansion Beyond Light comes out, you'll be able to play that day one if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Now, it's not going to be available on PC at launch when it comes to the Game Pass side of it. It will only still be available to be played on Steam, so that sucks. But you do have the ability to still move your character back and forth, so if you do have it on PC and you do want to play it on Xbox, at least that's one less platform that you have to buy it on, and that is really amazing. Unfortunately, I already spent the $70 to get Beyond Light with all the DLC, and yeah, so I kinda knew this was going to happen, and I predicted it a couple of weeks ago, and I still had already bought the DLC basically just to say you never know with Bungie, and yeah, they ended up proving me right, and I still spent money, so it's okay. I enjoy the game enough, and I love the game enough, and man, Bungie's the main reason why I'm buying a Xbox Series X, and that hasn't been a secret for a while. My fire team is the reason I do it. Shout out to Action Luca, shout out to Sir Taz. You guys are the real MVPs. Can't wait to shoot it up and run around Beyond Light with you guys, man. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, Bungie, it's a shame, but Bungie pretty much saved this show. It was like the really strongest part of this whole reveal was a game that Microsoft had in their wheelhouse and let get away, and it could have been an exclusive thing to them, but that's how it goes. But let's get to the elephant in the room, man. There was really only one thing that was really bad about this reveal, and it was kind of Halo. Now, I was blindsided a little bit by the fact that I was just super excited to just see what Halo had to offer. Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg all came out and talked about how they were excited for the power that we were going to see from these games and everything, and even though they did try to temper expectations of what people were seeing, I don't think we even understood how far this game was going to fall in just the reveal of it. And it didn't really help that they showed it at 1080p 60 frames per second. Now granted, I love the 60 frames per second because you could see it. I mean, you got Craig out here, shout out to 343 for naming the brute, just because I guess it was the best thing to do for them just to laugh about it. I mean, I get that and all, but it just looked rough. Animations didn't look all that good, pop in all over the place. The gameplay was fine. You know, I never have a problem with the gameplay that Halo has. It's straight out of that Bungie playbook of 30 seconds of fun. But I think it was just disappointing because we saw games like Halo 4 and Halo 5 look spectacular on the original Xbox and Xbox One X. And there's a lot of rumors out there talking about why this is the way it is. There was a dev that came out and talked about it being, since it was a cross-gen game, this game was most likely meant to just come on Xbox One X and regular Xbox, and the scope of the game was really set to be really flat like it is because they wanted to open up the world to a bigger play space and environment, and in order to do that they had to kind of take down the graphical fidelity to make the game bigger and grander. And plus they switched over from Unreal 4 to the new Split Space engine, and that had its own challenges. So it just sounds like this game just really truly needs to be delayed, but I don't know if they're gonna do it. I mean, at this point with the way it looks, I just don't see it getting any better because it is 4 to 5 months out of launch right now, and we are still in a work from home situation. So look, man, I've been very vocal. I don't have the biggest love for 343 when it comes to Halo because they kind of just have mix up after mix up after mix up. And if Microsoft truly did co-sign on this, which they definitely had to because this is an Xbox showcase of games, nothing like this will get by the bigger heads over in charge of Xbox before this hit the show floor or hit the interwebs. It's just kind of disappointing that they let Halo fall as far as it has fallen, and I don't know what they can really do to fix it as of right now. There's a lot of different games that they haven't talked about yet. They only showed 9 of the 15 studios, so there's 6 games out there that we haven't seen yet. I don't get it. You know, I understand that you want to save stuff for a later date because you want to combat what Sony has to say on the biggest stage when they do it next month. I mean, and that's a rumor in itself, but you just, right now, you're not in a position where you just need to wait for anything. You need to throw everything out there and get people excited. We got studios like The Initiative that are building some type of game that we don't know about. Even though the rumors are Perfect Dark, we still truly don't know. And we got 4 other studios, actually 5 other studios out there that we don't know what they're doing. So it would just be nice to actually get a full picture for what Xbox is doing in the next generation instead of this whole cat and mouse game they're playing with Sony. Sony's playing with house money right now because after this show, they feel like, man, Xbox's biggest gun either isn't going to be ready for prime time or it's not going to matter anyways because they're going to drop Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is the DLC sequel to the most sold game that was exclusive on the PlayStation platform or PlayStation 4. Wow. So that's a good way to start the next generation, I guess. But, you know, I was excited at first, but after going back and getting clips and looking at them, I'm like, yeah, this doesn't look good. There was a lot of things that just stood out that was wrong about the game to me. Look, man, I was excited in the live stream and I said 9 out of 10, but that 9 out of 10, it fell to an 8 out of 10 after a couple of days of really thinking about it. Like I said, Bungie really carried the show for me because they did something that I wanted. Microsoft didn't sell me a Series X. Bungie sold it for me. My friends sold it for me. So they're still getting my money. I still think Game Pass is an amazing value. I think anybody that wants to play any type of game, there's a variety inside of Game Pass that can't be matched on any other platform for the amount of money you pay for it with the benefits you get. And especially if you're paying the $15 and you're getting the PC side of it too, you're getting a lot of time for your money when it comes to these games. So the biggest question is, guys, what do you guys think about this reveal? Was it still great to you? What was the score that you gave it? Let's talk in the comment section about it. Do you think that Halo is going to make launch? Do you think it's going to be something that is going to have to get delayed due to what we saw? Let's also talk about that in the comment section too. So hate being negative about a show. I mean, technically I'm really not because I liked 90% of the show and I did give it an 8 out of 10. But the one thing that people went to go see was Halo and they kind of went to bed with that one. So unfortunate, but it's the reality. But I really appreciate you guys. You guys have been amazing over the last couple of weeks, and please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video with all your friends on social media, and I will see you guys in the next Gaming Forte video. Y'all have a good week. Peace.